Hey there and welcome. I'm Jillian Mansfeld, a photographer and mentor with over 25 years behind the lens and in the business trenches. Around here, we ditch the fluff and focus on what actually helps you grow. Practical tools, honest insights, and a whole lot of encouragement. Today's episode is packed because we're talking about something every photographer runs into eventually: tricky clients and how to handle them without losing your cool. There's a lot to cover here, from red flags to client scripts to protecting your peace, so this one's a little longer than usual, but I promise it's worth every minute. Grab a coffee, take a walk, or cue it up while you're editing. Let's dive in. Let me tell you about my very first family session gone sideways. The emails piled up, requests changed daily, and my carefully crafted timeline got tossed like confetti. I spent more time emailing than editing. Sound familiar? Look, tricky clients are part of our world, but you don't have to become a frazzled, apologetic mess. With a little forethought and the right scripts, you can run a business you love and keep your cool, no matter the curveball. Here's what 2 decades as a working photographer have taught me about handling sticky client moments with grace, clarity, and calm. Let's be honest. Your first interaction with a potential client often tells you more than their entire Instagram feed ever could. Red flags? They tend to pop up early, sometimes in the very first email. Maybe it's a message that's oddly vague or a request that keeps shifting as you ask for details. If you find yourself rereading their inquiry and thinking, wait, what exactly do they want? That's your cue to slow down and pay attention. One of the biggest warning signs is when someone asks for a discount before they even understand your process or what's included. It's tempting to win them over with flexibility, but research shows that starting off with discounts can set a precedent for more boundary pushing down the road. If you notice this pattern, it's okay to pause and ask yourself if this is really a good fit. Another subtle clue? Their questions. If they're asking things that are clearly explained on your pricing or process pages, it's a sign they haven't done their homework. Or worse, they might not respect your time or expertise. Studies indicate that clear communication and expectation setting at the start leads to better client satisfaction and fewer conflicts later. So don't ignore those early signs of misalignment. Here's a personal rule I live by. If my stomach flips during our first call, I don't brush it off. That gut feeling is your internal alarm system, and it's usually right. Trusting your intuition isn't just woo-woo advice, it's a business skill. Research supports that experienced professionals who listen to their instincts make better client decisions and avoid more headaches. Screening doesn't have to feel harsh or cold. You can be gentle and still be firm. Have your key questions and non-negotiables ready. Think of it like a checklist. For example, ask about their timeline, budget, and expectations up front. This isn't just about them picking you, you're interviewing them too. I always tell new mentees, you're not just hoping to be chosen, you're deciding if you want to work with them. That shift in mindset is empowering, and it's the first step toward building a business that truly supports you. Let's be honest, nothing derails a photo session faster than unclear expectations. If you've ever had a client ask for just one more location, or wonder why their gallery isn't ready in 24 hours, you know the pain. Here's the good news. Setting boundaries doesn't have to feel awkward or harsh. In fact, research shows that clear communication is the #1 way to boost client satisfaction and reduce those tricky misunderstandings that eat up your time and energy. Start with a welcome packet that's so clear, even your most detail-loving client can't find a loophole. This doesn't have to be fancy, just a solid template you can tweak for each shoot. Include what's included and what's not. Turnaround times, reshoot policies, and any quirky add-ons. Like, yes, mud puddle shots are extra. When you spell out the details, you leave nothing to interpretation, and that's where the magic happens. Next up, onboarding emails. These are your secret weapon. When I started sending out emails with FAQs and photo prep tips, the back and forth in my inbox dropped by about 90%. Clients showed up prepared, sessions ran smoother, and everyone knew what to expect. Studies indicate that automating these communications not only saves you time, but also makes clients feel cared for and informed. Now, let's talk contracts. Don't introduce your contract like it's some scary legal document. Instead, frame it as protection for both sides, a tool that keeps everyone on the same page. Walk your client through the highlights, especially anything that's out of the ordinary. Got a clause about weather delays or extra fees for extended sessions? Explain it early with a smile. Clients appreciate transparency, and research shows that contracts increase trust when they're presented as part of your professional system, not a threat. Finally, don't be shy about showing off your systems. A streamlined onboarding process, clear policies, and a friendly contract all signal that you're a pro. Clients are more likely to trust you and respect your boundaries when they see you've got your act together. And if you have a quirky clause or two, own it. A little humor goes a long way toward making your boundaries feel approachable, not rigid. Let's be real. No matter how organized you are, tricky client moments will sneak up on you. Maybe it's someone asking, "Can I get all the unedited shots?" Or a client who's just not loving their photos. These situations can feel awkward, but having a few go-to scripts in your back pocket makes all the difference. Research shows that managing client expectations and setting clear boundaries leads to better satisfaction for both sides, so it's worth putting in the prep work. First, memorize a handful of scripts for those sticky situations. For example, when someone says, "I don't like how I look in these," you might respond with, "I totally get wanting to feel your best. Let's look through together and see if there are any favorites, and I can suggest a few edits that might help." Or, for the classic unedited photo request, "I only deliver fully edited images to ensure you get my best work." Think of it like a chef not serving half-cooked meals. Practice saying, "Here's what's included," instead of falling into the trap of over-apologizing. It's easy to want to please, but studies indicate that holding to your terms with warmth actually builds more trust. Compassion doesn't mean crossing your boundaries. If a client keeps pushing, gently repeat your policy. This is where the broken record technique comes in handy. Just calmly restate your terms until it clicks. It might feel repetitive, but it works. Humor can also be a lifesaver. If someone insists on those unedited shots, try lightening the mood. "Only my dog gets to see the unedited ones, and he's sworn to secrecy." A little laughter can diffuse tension and remind everyone you're human. And here's the thing. There's a script for every curveball. Don't wing it in the moment. Take a little time to jot down responses to common requests or complaints. This isn't just about saving your sanity. It's about showing up as a confident, professional photographer who's got it all handled. Plus, with clear communication and a few practice lines, you'll find that most clients respect your boundaries and your work even more. Let's be real. Rescheduling is part of the photography business. Life happens, kids get sick, weather turns, and sometimes clients just forget. But if you don't set boundaries around rescheduling, your calendar and sanity will pay the price. Research shows that managing client expectations up front is one of the best ways to keep your workflow smooth and your stress levels low. Start by building a little wiggle room into your contracts. Allow for 1, maybe 2, reschedules, max. This gives clients some grace, but also signals that your time is valuable. You don't have to be rigid, but you do need to be clear. When you lay this out from the start, most clients respect it. And if they don't, that's a red flag worth noting. Now, don't wait until you're staring at a last-minute cancellation email to figure out what to say. Template your reschedule responses. Seriously, have a few scripts ready to go. Something like, "I understand things come up. Per our agreement, I'm happy to reschedule once at no additional charge. Let's find a new date." This saves you from scrambling, and it keeps your tone consistent, compassionate but firm. Consider adopting a one free reschedule policy. It's fair, it's easy to explain, and it protects your calendar. If a client needs to change again, you can gently remind them of the policy and outline any fees or limitations. Studies indicate that clear written policies reduce conflict and help clients feel informed, not blindsided. But what if someone flakes more than once? That's when you need to pause and ask, is this relationship healthy for my business? Sometimes letting a repeat offender go is the best move for your peace of mind. Research shows that strong boundaries actually strengthen client relationships, not weaken them. From my own experience, enforcing reschedule terms has saved more relationships than it's ended. Clients appreciate knowing where they stand, and you'll appreciate not having your schedule thrown into chaos. Protecting your momentum isn't just about business. It's about protecting your art, your energy, and your peace of mind. And honestly, isn't that what you need most to do your best work? Let's be real. Firing. A client sounds dramatic, but sometimes it's the healthiest move you can make for your business and your sanity. Not every client relationship is meant to last, and that's okay. In fact, research shows that letting go of toxic clients can actually help your business thrive in the long run. Think of it like pruning a plant. You're making space for healthier growth elsewhere. First things first, don't wait until you're at your breaking point. If you sense a client is draining your energy, pushing boundaries, or simply not a good fit, it's better to address it sooner rather than later. Life's too short for toxic relationships, especially in a creative field like photography, where your energy and inspiration matter. One practical tip: keep a draft, we're parting ways email on file. You don't have to use it often, but having it ready makes the process less stressful when the time comes. The key is to keep your tone professional and direct, not defensive. Something like, after careful consideration, I believe we're not the best fit for your project needs. I wish you all the best moving forward. Simple, clear, and drama-free. Now, about refunds, always go by your contract. If you've outlined your policies clearly from the start, this part is straightforward. Document everything: emails, agreements, even phone call summaries. This protects you if there's any pushback. Studies indicate that having contracts and clear documentation reduces conflicts and misunderstandings, making these tough conversations easier to navigate. Over the years, I've had to break up with a handful of clients. Each time, my business got stronger. Why? Because it freed up time and energy for clients who truly valued my work. Managing client expectations from the beginning, setting boundaries, and knowing when to walk away are all part of running a sustainable photography business. If you do get pushback, respond with professionalism, not defensiveness. You don't need to justify every decision, just stick to your policies and keep it courteous. Remember, you're not just protecting your business, you're also protecting your peace of mind. And that's worth everything. Let's be honest, handling tricky clients is just one piece of the puzzle. If you want to actually enjoy your photography business and not burn out, you need systems that protect your time, energy, and peace of mind. It's not about being rigid or robotic. It's about making space for the parts of your work that light you up. So, how do you future-proof your sanity? Automate messages and key client touchpoints. Research shows that automating routine communications, like booking confirmations, payment reminders, and session prep instructions, not only saves you hours, but also creates a more consistent client experience. You don't need to personally answer every "what should I wear" email. Let your systems handle the basics so you can focus on creativity and connection. Never underestimate the power of a clear, visible FAQ or policies page on your website. Studies indicate that clients who have easy access to your boundaries and expectations up front are less likely to push back or ask repetitive questions. This one step can prevent so many headaches. Seriously, it's like having a virtual assistant working 24/7. Take a moment to ask yourself, where are my boundaries leaking? What's draining me? Maybe you're answering emails at midnight, or maybe you're letting reschedules slide too often. Small leaks add up, so patch them before they become floods. If you haven't tried a client workflow tool like Honeybook or Dubsado, you're missing out. These platforms organize contracts, invoices, and client communications in one place. Research shows that photographers who use workflow tools report less stress and fewer missed details. It's like having a project manager in your pocket. Forget the bubble baths for a second. Real self care in business is about building habits and systems that protect your energy. That means saying no when you need to, automating what you can, and making your peace a non negotiable part of your workflow. Your peace isn't a bonus, it's mission critical for long term success. Sometimes the best strategies for handling tricky clients aren't in any official playbook. They're the little tricks, analogies, and reminders you pick up along the way. Here's a handful of wildcard wisdom that can help you keep your cool and your business thriving, even when things get a little chaotic. Think of your client list like a garden. Some clients are like persistent weeds, always rescheduling, always pushing boundaries. It's okay to gently weed them out. Then there are the ones who show up on time, respect your process, and make your job a joy. Water those relationships, nurture them, and watch your business bloom. Research shows that focusing on your best fit clients leads to more satisfaction and fewer headaches in the long run. Imagine if every client was as organized and clear as you are. What would your workflow look like? Probably a lot smoother, right? Use that vision as your baseline. Set up systems and onboarding processes that encourage clients to meet you at that level. Studies indicate that clear expectations and streamlined communication reduce misunderstandings and boost client satisfaction. Here's a game changer. Reply to tricky emails with a quick voice memo. It's faster, feels warmer, and cuts down on back and forth. Plus, clients hear your tone, making it easier to set boundaries without sounding harsh. Many photographers find this approach more effective than long, carefully worded emails. Think about it. If your pizza arrives late, you wouldn't expect a whole second pizza for free. The same goes for your services. Don't feel pressured to give away extra edits, extra time, or freebies just because a client asks. Boundaries keep your business sustainable and your work valued. Being kind is non-negotiable, but that doesn't mean saying yes to everything. Remember, you can be friendly and firm at the same time. Research suggests that setting clear boundaries actually increases client respect and trust. Finally, save those glowing reviews and kind emails. Screenshot them and keep them at the top of your inbox for the tough days. A little reminder of your impact can go a long way in keeping your confidence high and your outlook positive. Let's be real. Being nice in photography doesn't mean you have to say yes to everything. It's not about being a doormat or letting clients walk all over you. Instead, it's about providing clarity and kindness at the same time. When you set clear expectations and communicate your policies up front, you're actually doing your clients a favor. They know what to expect, and you get to protect your time and energy. Research shows that managing client expectations is one of the most effective ways to boost satisfaction and reduce misunderstandings in service-based businesses like photography. Every tricky client, think of them as a growth opportunity. Maybe it's a chance to tweak your welcome guide, update your FAQ page, or fine-tune that email template you've been meaning to rewrite. Studies indicate that refining your systems and scripts after each challenging interaction leads to smoother workflows and happier clients in the long run. So instead of dreading those tough emails or awkward conversations, use them as fuel to make your business stronger. Don't forget why you picked up your camera in the first place. Photography should feel fun, creative, and rewarding, not like a never-ending customer service shift. If you find yourself feeling drained or resentful, it's a sign your boundaries need a tune-up. You're allowed and encouraged to make rules that protect your energy and keep your love for the lens alive. This could mean limiting weekend bookings, requiring deposits, or simply saying no to projects that don't light you up. Your business is at its best, and you're at your happiest when you trust yourself to handle whatever lands in your inbox. That trust comes from experience, yes, but also from having solid systems in place. Automate what you can, keep your policies visible, and don't be afraid to update your processes as you learn. Research shows that photographers who regularly review their boundaries and workflows report less stress and more job satisfaction. At the end of the day, you're not just allowed to have boundaries, you need them. They're what keep your business sustainable and your creativity thriving. So go ahead, be both kind and clear. Your clients and your future self will thank you. So, you've made it through the wild ride of handling tricky photography clients, boundaries, scripts, and all the sanity-saving tips you could ever want. But let's be honest, sometimes reading about these strategies is one thing, and putting them into practice is a whole different beast. If you're craving more real talk, practical examples, and even a few behind-the-scenes stories from photographers who've been there, you're in the right place. First, if you haven't already, tune in to this week's podcast episode of The Savvy Shutterbug. We're diving even deeper into the art of setting boundaries, sharing word-for-word scripts, and talking through those "what do I say now?" moments that every photographer faces. Research shows that hearing how others navigate these situations can make it easier to find your own voice and confidence. Plus, you'll pick up tips on managing stress and keeping your cool, even when a client is testing every ounce of your patience. If you're more of a visual learner, check out our YouTube channel. You'll find walkthroughs on everything from drafting contracts to handling reschedule requests, all with a dose of humor and honesty. Studies indicate that seeing real-life scenarios play out can help you feel more prepared when it's your turn in the hot seat. And hey, sometimes it's just nice to know you're not the only one who's ever had to fire a client or explain, again, why unedited raw files aren't included. And don't forget, SavvyShutterbug.com is packed with resources, templates, and guides to help you build a business that protects your peace and delights your clients. Whether you're looking for onboarding email flows, sample contracts, or just a little reassurance that you're allowed to have boundaries, you'll find it there. Remember, every tricky client is a chance to strengthen your systems and your confidence. You've got this, and we're here to help every step of the way. If you loved this episode, it would mean the world if you hit subscribe, leave a quick review, or share it with a fellow photographer who needs to hear this. And hey, if you want more tools, templates, and no-fluff advice to grow your business, head over to SavvyShutterbug.com. You'll find blog posts, freebies, and resources that help you book better clients and actually enjoy your work again. Until next time, keep learning, stay curious, and remember, you're not just a photographer, you're the CEO of your creative business.